All right, hi everybody, and welcome to another VanHack Hangout, the last hangout before the São Paulo Recruiting Fair 2019. And yeah, I can't be more excited. I'm actually in São Paulo right now. I arrived today, staying at a hotel close to the event. And yeah, we will be getting ready for Saturday and Sunday. This hangout's pretty informal. Basically, what I want to do is just talk a little bit about strategy, things you can do to prepare yourself in the last couple of days. I know our team has been doing a lot to prepare you. So hopefully, you're already ready, where you're interviewing it, what company you're interviewing, et cetera, et cetera. But really, it's just to hear your ideas and give you the mindset you need to get hired abroad. Yeah, get your goals. So let me just welcome everyone. So everyone who's joining, yeah, I just want to make sure if everyone can hear me, everyone who's joining, just let me know. If there's any problems, just type in the chat. Anyway, okay, so the event, well, first off, I just want to say congratulations, because you guys are, well, you're basically the top 1% of VanHackers who applied for this event. We had over 2,000, top 10%, yeah. VanHackers who applied for this event. We had over 2,000 applicants, sorry. Yeah, we have over 2,000 applicants, and you were, the top 180 or so that got accepted. So you should be very proud of yourselves. And if you don't get hired this weekend, or like if the hiring process that you're doing this weekend doesn't end up being successful, don't worry. This is just one step, and many times people have come to the recruiting fair and didn't work out, and then they got another job on VanHack through another process. So I would say apply, even if you're selected to this, that you're selected to this event, apply to other jobs on VanHack just in case, and do recruiting processes on VanHack outside the recruiting fair. So if you're not doing that, if you're putting all your eggs in one basket, that's a bad strategy. So I would just say apply to as many jobs on VanHack that you think you're a good fit for, and our team, especially since you're like a mission candidate, we know that you're good, and we'll put extra attention on your application and help you get hired. So how will the event run? The morning, please come early. So the hackathon will start right away, or the interviews as well for some people start right away at 9 a.m. sharp. We're on Canadian time here, so it's not going to be 9:15, etc. Not Brazilian time. So make sure you're there early. And we're going to be starting there at around 7:30 a.m. Of course, you don't have to arrive at 7:30 a.m. Come, as early as possible, between 8:30, 9. That would be ideal. There's going to be a lot of people, and basically it's going to be the sooner you come, the sooner you can sit down and get ready and kind of mentally be prepared. We'll have some food for you, some snacks to have in the morning, so that there will be breakfast in the morning. So you don't have to eat breakfast at home. So that might be something that saves you time. And then there'll be coffee and snacks throughout the day. We will have lunch. We will also have a snack in the afternoon, and the event will finish at about 8 p.m. If you have to leave for whatever reason, some people, I don't know, last time we had people who had their kids were sick or something came up. Don't worry, just let us know. This won't disqualify you. As long as you can do your interview. Maybe if you have to miss your interview for whatever reason and you're coming on Saturday, maybe we can fit you in on Sunday, for example. But I don't expect that to happen. Don't count on that. So do everything you can to be at the event on time and ready for your interview. So that's my next point, your interview. Okay, your interview, you should all have gotten, and can you guys confirm that you've all gotten a calendar invite for not only the day you're coming, so Saturday or Sunday, but also the time when your interview is and the room that your interview is in. Have you all received this? Yes, okay. Okay, good. Great. So last time we had people miss their interviews. People flew all the way from different places, and they were actually in the hack, in there working on their hackathon challenge, and they missed their interview. Don't be that person. That makes you look really bad. You don't pay attention to important details like that. So put a timer, set a bunch of alarms, know in your head that 4:30 p.m. my interview is then, or 10:30 a.m. whenever your interview is. know that it is going to be then, and make sure when your interview that happens, go upstairs. So the way that the event center, I don't know if you've all seen the Sao Paulo Center. If you haven't, look it up on Google. They actually have like pictures of the events. Like you can actually do a virtual tour of the rooms. So the first floor will be the hackathon, and then the second floor will be the interview rooms. And every company, so there's 6 companies coming, and every company will have their own interview room. So it's very simple. You just walk upstairs. There'll be a big sign beside the door with the name of the company. So one of the companies, Nest Ready, will be there. So if you're interviewing with Nest Ready, there'll be a sign saying Nest Ready beside the door. And there'll be someone from our team making sure that you're ushered in around on time. Be there maybe 5-10 minutes before the interview starts. So if your interview's at 4:30, come at 4:20, 4:25, and then be ready for the interview. The interviews will be half an hour. Some interviews will be 1 hour. I think Proposify is in the company doing 1 hour interviews, but most interviews will be half an hour. And this will be like the first step for many of you, either the first or second step in the process. So don't expect to have a result right after, like right on Monday or like really soon. You'll probably have 1 or 2 more steps after this if you're selected past this first step. This will be kind of like a, the beginning of the journey, or like at least the middle of the journey, but not the end. So don't expect to know right away. But hopefully, in the next week or so, when the companies come back to their cities or to their offices, they'll reschedule or they'll schedule the next interviews, and it'll be kind of a quick decision after that. Okay. So tips for how to be successful in the event. First tip. Is it freezing for you guys? Can you hear me? Someone says it's freezing. Am I back? Yes, it's freezing. Brazilian Wi-Fi. I'm sorry. It's the hotel Wi-Fi. Sorry, not Brazil. It's the hotel. I'm just kidding. They can get very good Wi-Fi here if we pay for it. Yeah. Wi-Fi in Canada is not always perfect as well. Okay. So, hopefully, I don't know, maybe you can all hear me. And if you, maybe guys turn off your cameras. So maybe this will also help with people that there'll be less bandwidth. Okay. So, anyway. Thank you. Thanks, Carlos. Okay. So tip number 1, don't be arrogant. Don't think that just because you got selected that this is a 100% slam dunk, that you're the best developer in the world and boom, you're going to get hired. Don't be like this. This is something that we saw in the first couple of events. People were really thinking that they're amazing. They had like that the challenge is easy, that they, like during the interview, they said, like this was super easy. I finished the challenge in 10 minutes or whatever, an hour, and I'm smart and I'm done. This is really a bad sign. Canadian culture really doesn't like this. Like they don't like people who are so, you like people who are confident but not arrogant, right? So just be humble, work hard, and like whenever you talk to companies or whenever you talk to fellow VanHackers, just be down to earth, right? Like this is definitely not something that I can train or like how can I say this? If your personality is like that, then that's the way you are. But hopefully, our team did a good job selecting the right people. But again, I just want to stress this point because we had a few people who honestly this was the reason why they didn't get selected, was that the interviewer was just like, this person it doesn't seem like they could be working well in teams and working with people from different backgrounds and cultures and understanding of other people's opinions. So that's like a big deal in Canada. It's not just about being a good developer, it's being a good developer in the team. Another thing with the coding challenge, I mentioned that some people think it's easy. So the way the coding challenge will work is there'll be something, it's very, very open-ended. So it'll be like build X, right? And it's not like there's a right answer, a wrong answer, or right amount of time to build something, right? So some people might have heard me say this, but like there's no like correct solution that if you solve this problem, then the number, like the correct solution is XYZ. It's like you build a product, and companies want to see your creativity, want to see how you work, your code, the way you approach a problem, etc. One thing that we were going to say this on the weekend, but I think it's better to say down so you guys can start thinking about it, especially for everyone who is a QA or a DevOps. Actually, let me confirm this, and I'll get back to you on the Slack channel about this. But maybe there may be an option or a possibility that QA and DevOps will have to join and make a team with someone else, like a backend or a developer or front end developer. But most of the people will be doing challenges by themselves, or maybe at maximum teams of 2 or 3. And we'll let you know if this is the case, because we want to avoid confusion and people making teams last minute. Maybe this is something we'll do, something we're talking about internally, because it's kind of hard for us to like build a QA challenge, just without anything to check, right? There's no there's no quality to assure if there's no nothing to build. Okay, another thing, don't share the address of where the event is happening. So we're going to do a check-in and make sure that people who attend are actually people who were selected. So VanHackers were hired, VanHackers were selected and not, some random person from the street. So don't tell people where it'll be. Again, there will be food and drink. So lots of coffee. We spend a lot of money on coffee for this weekend. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. I know I will be. There'll be coffee. Oh, another thing, bring a water bottle. We've said this probably many times, but bring a water bottle, because we will not have these plastic bottles, and because we're not going to give away like 200 those disposable water bottles. We'll give away, or we'll just have water from jars that you fill up in your water bottle, and you can drink that way. It's gonna be a long day, so just bring a water bottle and bring your laptop. We will have Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi network will be VanHack in capitals, and the password is get hired in capitals. We'll tell you that on the day, so you don't have to memorize it, but just so you know, there will be good Wi-Fi that we did. Yeah, not hotel Wi-Fi. And we also will be filming. So there's gonna be a video that'll be done. And if you don't want to be in it, let us know. We'll make sure your face is not in it. But if you do want to be in it and you're open to like doing interviews or mini little clips, I don't know, have you guys all seen the videos we did from the last events? Anyone? No, maybe. It's your time to shine. If you'd like to do a little testimonial about how VanHack's helped you, or anything like that, especially it'd be cool if you say something and then you do get hired. So it'll be cool to say that in the videos. Actually, I don't think you've all seen this video. We made this video more for companies, but it will show you what the event space is like. So I want to show this to you so you guys can see. And this is actually the video. This video here that I shared, the Vimeo one, in the chat, which I think will be this side for you, this is where it's going to be. Like, this is with the actual location, like, because the first time we did the event, so this is the third time. The first time we did the event was in another place, and this time is a second time was in São Paulo Center, and again we'll be in São Paulo Center because it's much better than the place we were before. So if you guys want to watch that video after this or whenever you want, it'll give you kind of a mentally prepare, visualize yourself being there, coding, getting hired. And also, if you haven't seen the first video, I'll just share that right now. So yeah, and it'll have more examples of, here. Okay, it'll have more examples of people doing because the Vimeo video has people, has more companies talking, but this one will have VanHackers talking. So yeah. So anyway, that's my point on the videos. Sorry, it started playing for me. So that's my point about the videos. It'd be great. Like, the more people want to be in videos, of course, as you probably have seen, we do a lot of videos to show that VanHack is real. We're not just this, company. I heard there's this company in Brazil that's like telling people that if you invest 1,000 reais, you'll get 1 million reais from the stock market. Sounds good. This Bachina person. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I've been hearing that this is yeah, VanHack is not Empiricus. We should make t-shirts, right, guys? Sorry, take a break. Okay, cool. Thanks, Steph. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I've been seeing these videos on YouTube. Yeah, VanHack is not Empiricus. Ilya is not Pacina. Yeah, we won't help you make $1 million. Maybe one day, who knows? But we'll help you get a job abroad, and yeah, maybe in the future there'll be VanHack millionaires. We'll see. Anyway, point of the story is, if you want to be in the videos, would be great. We will have a videographer there the whole time, and we'll be asking people to volunteer. Could be like a 30-second, hi, my name is X, I'm a backend developer, VanHack helped me get hired, or VanHack really put a great event on, etc., etc. Anyway, okay. I think those are the main kind of things I wanted to cover. Uh, yeah, that's really it that I had written down. The biggest thing is this is like a really great opportunity. Our team has worked super hard since like December, or 4 months now, of just incredible work to find all of you, screen you, make sure you're the right person for the job, prepare you. I hope you've been enjoying the course, all the mock interviews, and take it really seriously, because this is the best way for us to connect you with great companies. And I would say like one of your best chances to get hired abroad. Don't get too nervous, and don't put too much pressure on yourself, because that's another thing. A lot of people, like last time, I remember the last couple of events, people were just like sitting there before, like freaking out. You could like feel the negative energy or the nervous energy from them. And my suggestion is like, relax, calm, be zen. Put in the work. Yeah, exactly, Rafael. Be zen. If you put in the work and prepare yourself, and do everything the right way, and kind of prepare the right way, then the right thing will happen. And if it doesn't happen, like I said in the beginning, then there's another job even better waiting for you soon after. I don't know if you guys all saw in Slack, there was a guy who posted that he didn't get hired at the recruiting fair, but then he got hired another job with another company. That's happened a lot of times. And just be confident in yourself, and take this opportunity really seriously. Like, take the coding challenge seriously, take the interview seriously. If I were you, I would spend the next, if you haven't already, spend the next 2 days Googling the companies you're going to interview at, learning as much as possible about them, reading their blogs, watching any videos they have on YouTube. I don't know if the guys who were interviewed at Sensei Labs saw the video that Sensei Labs made, but like that kind of stuff. Study as much as you can the company. Yeah, bring that up in the interview. Make sure you have questions to ask the interview at the end. Like, there's always going to be 5 minutes more or less for you to ask some questions. Speak slowly, be confident, this kind of thing. Last time, a lot of the VanHackers, I just felt like the only reason they didn't get hired was that they were just putting themselves too much pressure on themselves, and it brings a bad vibe, a bad energy for the interviewer. And if you're not confident in yourself, then it's hard for other people to be confident in you as well. Okay. Another thing. Don't see other VanHackers as competition. Okay. So don't think, oh man, like if I there's a limited number of spots. Yes, some companies are hiring a small amount of people, but there are other companies, small amount of people, like 10, which is not small. There are other companies that are hiring maybe like a bunch of people now, and then they told us they'll hire like 2 or 3 every month till the end of the year. So maybe you're not in that first group, but you might be in the next group, all right? In the next group of people. So just look at it that way, right? And don't be like, oh, like I have to be competing, and we have hundreds of jobs on the VanHack platform. Yeah, exactly. It's not the mountain we conquer, it is ourselves. It's one of my favorite quotes by the first man who climbed Mount Everest. If anyone could tell me who that is, I'll give you a special prize on the weekend. Anyway, so we hack together. Exactly. That's the main thing I want to say. So like, don't see other people's competition. Enjoy yourself. Be professional. Be humble. If you could help other people, if someone has a question about something in the hackathon, like in the Slack group, then answer. Be that person that helps out, and good karma. That's a good thing. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for my thoughts, Ilya's thoughts. Let's open up to questions. If you want to raise your hand, I think you can do that somewhere on this side. Go ahead and do that, or you can ask me a question in the chat, and I'll hang out here for as long as we have questions, or until we get to 9 p.m. But is everything clear? Like, how's the organization? I know it's, from our end at least, much more organized than last time. Was anyone here actually in the last event? I'm curious. Anyone here came to the other events last year?
I went to the first. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Hey, Matthias.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your experience or any tips you have, or I don't know?
I just want to say that, guys, as Ilya just said, be calm. Don't get nervous, because I got nervous on the first event and I didn't well. So that's my first talk about the event. And that's also just set yourself, do your best that you're going to do well. So that's all.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Stay calm. Murilo asks a funny question, a good question, I should say. Not funny, it's kind of funny. Brazilian Portuguese be allowed during the event? Well, there's no rules. I'm not going to tell you what you can or can't do in terms of like the language you can speak. But I would recommend you speak English. Think of this as a full day English class for free with free food and coffee and some coding as well, and maybe a job abroad, right? So look at it that way. I would, if you want to move to Canada, then think like a Canadian, maybe French, but also mostly English. There'll be one company from Montreal, but they speak English, right? So, yeah, I would say do what you think is best for yourself, but yeah, English. Free food, free class, free job opportunity. Yeah, it's the opposite of Imperious. You don't have to spend any money. Oh, that's funny. Free coffee and maybe a job offer. It's a good Saturday. I don't know Portuguese. Oh, cool, Ricardo. Where are you from? Are you coming from another country? From outside Brazil? You're coming from Venezuela? I think we have a few people living in Chile. Oh, awesome. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, last time we had someone come from Cuba. We had people come from Chile as well. No one from Venezuela before, or I guess no Venezuelan before. So that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. I know there's also another person from Venezuela coming as well. What's her name? Edialis, right? Yeah, Edialis. Cool. And Scarlett's Venezuelan from our team. We have, I think, two Venezuelans on our team. No, three, of course, three Venezuelan people working on the VanHack team. And amazing. Yes. Hello.
Hello. After being selected, what kind of what's the next step of the process in terms of the visa process? So, what kind of will be an express entry? Will be a provincial? What can we expect in this sense?
Yeah, good question. So I'm pretty sure all of the companies will be using Global Talent Stream. So Global Talent Stream is the kind of new-ish, or it's the fast track visa or work permit process for developers or tech talent that wants to move to Canada. I just shared a blog post there for everyone to check out. It shows you exactly the documents you need to have, basically all you need to do is have a medical exam by a special doctor that's like approved by the Canadian government, which is pretty easy to do. Then you will have your diploma, your marriage certificate if you're married, certified or translated with certified translator. And I'm pretty sure that's it. And then you just apply online. But this is so for timeline, some companies want you to move right away. Other companies, I think, want to hire people virtually for a few months. This is, again, different by company. But, and then, I think for the Quebec process is a little bit slower, but usually, I would say, be ready to move maybe in 2 or 3 months, or maybe in a little bit longer, with working remotely for 3 months, and then 1 or 2 months for the visa, so 4 to 5 months. But yeah, you all should be wanting to, or ready to move to Canada at least this year, or in the next 6 months maximum, 6 months or less. So yeah, that would be how it works. But yeah, Steph just said some good stuff there. So yeah, PNP are for PR. So once you do have a work permit, you can apply for express entry using that. The visa lasts for 2 years. It's a closed work permit, which lasts for 2 years, closed meaning that it's tied to the company. So make sure you do a really good job and, don't F up, because then, you have to go back, or you can stay and find another job. We've had that happen once, but usually you don't want to, it doesn't almost never happens. VanHackers, you guys are always really hardworking and think things work out. But point is, your visa is tied to the company. And then also it's a 2-year work permit. So after 1 year, you can apply for a Canadian experience class, and then you can basically get a PR. Is it freezing? We're back.
Hey, hello. Can I?
Hey,
May I?
guys. Yeah, sure.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I'm really appreciate for everything. I'm I'm very excited about the idea to live abroad and to work abroad. Mon français c'est pas bon, mais merci beaucoup. So I genuinely like to study, and I'm always studying a lot of things, and it's very hard for me right now to choose from a bunch of options of different technologies to work with, and I have a few technologies that I'm choosing to work with, like Vue.js, Django, Laravel, or Ruby on Rails. Right now, focusing Ruby on Rails because of this particular search, because the companies, they reached me without me asking to. So I'm not sure why they choose me, but I feel I can grasp very fast a lot of concepts and languages, and they are built to be fast. They are built to be agile. So I have a Scrum Master certification as well.
Yeah. So what's your question, Gus?
Yeah, my question is, I'm just asking for your help to help me get through this, the glue that gets all the technology together. I believe you have very high qualified people, and I'm just like, usually I feel kind of lost because there's so much things, so much technology, so many technologies, and I feel lost about what to focus, because there's a lot of things. And I like AWS very much, and I'm just asking for help to help me get me through. I'm doing a lot of courses. I'm using Udemy. I'm using LinkedIn, Linda,
Yeah.
LinkedIn area to, well, it's very, very nice. So thank you very much. That's it.
Cool. Thanks, Gus. Good question. Well, first off, our pleasure. I really appreciate your words, and every time VanHackers say that, it always makes me feel good, and kind of helps us get more motivation as a team to work harder and help you all. So basically, I would say focus on a few technologies and do them well. But at the same time, I don't know. Let's say one backend technology, one front end framework. So if you want to do like Python, Django, and Vue, or whatever you feel is good, do that. But then always kind of the way that companies look at it, a lot of times companies look at it, they say they just want a really good developer. And the way they see it is like, there's no like Java developer, or Python developer, or Ruby developer. There's just good developers that can learn and work in different tools that are needed. So don't feel like overwhelmed and nervous, and that's a bad thing. It's fine. I would just say I would approach it as, study and focus on a few things now, but be open-minded and versatile to learn if you need, and show companies this in your process. But usually the way companies are, unfortunately, is like they want Java developers or they want something specific. So focus on those specific things, and I would focus on what you like the most. So there's demand for every type of developer, or for almost every type of developer, except for like COBOL and BASIC and Delphi and stuff like that. But the point is, as long as you're let's say you choose Ruby, then be the best Ruby developer that you can. Yeah. And don't worry about other stuff. So I would invest in one thing or a few things rather than spreading yourself too thin.
Yeah, I think I think I can work well with both, not only with Python and Ruby and PHP, but I really like Python and Ruby. Yeah.
Okay, great. So focus on those, and also maybe something on the front end or not. But don't overcomplicate it. Keep it simple. Focus on a few things and do it well. So yeah, cool. Thanks for your question, Gus. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in a few days. Cool.
Which is your suggestion from these three? Which is your best suggestion to choose?
Ruby, Python, or what's the third?
It's the PHP Laravel.
I don't know. There's no right answer.
Yeah.
There's jobs for all three. Like, yeah. So it really depends on you. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So there were some questions here in the chat I want to get to. Marcus asked the name of the visa process. There's a global talent stream visa. If you click on the doc on this link again, I'll share it again. You can see. Next steps. Okay. So people are asking about next steps. Oh, and then I was just quickly on the visa. Yes, VanHack will help you with your work permit. So we'll tell you what you need to do. We're not going to do it for you because all things is like your marriage certificate or your college diploma. So only you can do it. But we do have an immigration consultant that works with us that'll answer your questions and kind of work with you after that. So yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, so there was another question here that I thought was good. Oh, what to bring? Okay, yeah. So what should you bring to the event? Your laptop, your charger, and a water bottle. That's pretty much it. You know, other than like, I don't know, your phone or, yeah. Don't bring a lot of stuff. Okay, any other questions? Dress code. Okay, yeah, there's no real dress code. Yeah, you can bring a backpack, of course. Yeah, you know, put that stuff in your backpack and bring it. That's fine. Yeah, there's no like formal dress code. Dress comfortable. You know, don't need to wear a suit. Please, actually, don't wear a suit. That'd be funny. Wear whatever clothes you want. It doesn't make a difference at all. You're going to be interviewing with developers, so they're not going to care about your clothes. You're going to care about your code. Good question. Natasha, no, that does not help. It would help if there's companies from Europe, but Brazilian or Portuguese citizenship is the same process for the visa in Canada. How long time will we have to move abroad? Again, Enrique, it depends on the company and you know, how you negotiate and decide with them. So like if, yeah, there's going to be parking at the venue. Yeah, Manina, good question, good point. I think it might rain. So yeah, there's parking, I think, at the venue and also close by. Do you all know where the event is happening? São Paulo Center? Everyone's seen the website? Yes? Good. Okay, cool. Talk to the interviews before. No, so you won't have a chance to talk to the interviews before. Good question, Fabio. Actually, maybe. That's actually a really good point. Probably, actually, yeah. There will be a chance for you to talk to the interviewers, and there'll be kind of like a breakfast area, and then there'll be like during lunch. So if your interview's after lunch, maybe at lunch you can talk to them. You'll see everyone will have name tags, so we'll have these name tags, and companies will have name tags, so you can see who's who. I would recommend you do your research and see like on LinkedIn what they look like. But yeah, I think it's a nice way. Like if you see someone from a company that you're interviewing, definitely say hi to them. Okay. Yeah, this will not be the last step. It'll be, oh yeah, Reginaldo, good question. No, so different from the first event for everyone who's here, the first couple events, we won't have a session in the mornings where there's like an introduction. I don't know if some of you guys saw the video already where there was a presentation, the company did a speech and like presented why you should work for them. Because we have 6 companies, we just decided to not have that this time. Excuse me. And so it's just basically like you arrive, go to the hackathon, start working, do your interview, and that's it. We're gonna keep it simple this time. You suggested to talk to our interviewers during this break. Yeah, if you can, Shara. So if you see someone from a company you're interviewing, definitely go and say hi. You know, don't like, I don't know, bombard them with a bunch of questions. Just be polite and say hi if you want. I think this will be a nice impression. This is the fair will be the last step. No, so Jesue, sorry if I'm saying wrong. You won't, this won't be the last step. I think all companies will have maybe 1 or 2 steps after. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that there'll be other steps later, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe like they don't all share their interview process exactly with us, but I'm pretty sure there'll be interviews after this. So be ready for maybe 1 or 2 more steps. Probably some people who like, maybe people who didn't come to Sao Paulo for the event, they want to talk to you as well, like other people from the team. that might be it. Cool. Good questions, guys. This is good. Get the visa. Yes. Everyone in your family will have a visa. Marcy, good question. The visa will be closed work permit for you tied to the company, open work permit for your spouse so they can work or study or do whatever. And then your kids will have student visas and be able to study in Canadian schools. So yeah, closed for 2 years, yes. But you can get your PR after 1 year. So yeah, after 1 year, you can, if you want, change jobs. I recommend you stay at a company for at least like 2 or 3 years. It kind of looks bad if you change jobs after 1 year. So, make sure that you, like during the interview, for example, don't be like, I really want to move to X city, but like, for example, like, I really want to move to, let's say, like, another city after or something like that. Like, don't talk about how, especially if like you have, let's say, like your cousin or your brother or something lives in another city in Canada, like don't need to talk about that. So I would just say, like, if you're ready to go, if you get an offer, be ready to move to that city, live for that city for 2 or 3 years, and then maybe move afterwards. But the hard part again is just kind of getting in. And then once you're in, like the chances of you getting another job in another city if you want are much higher. So I would use this as kind of like your entry into Canada in this case, or another country if you get hired in another country. So yeah. So the cities, everyone knows like the city that the company's in. So we have Halifax, we have Montreal, we have Toronto, we have Winnipeg, Vancouver. So yeah, everyone should know this because you know what company you're in for. Salary expectations. Ooh, good question, Fernando. Yeah, they'll probably ask your salary expectations, and I would be ready for that. I would definitely like have studied the country. For everyone here, just for you to know, I would say between $80,000 and $100,000 per year is a good salary range. Maybe a little bit lower for people who are more junior, and a little bit higher for people who are more senior. But something like, let's say, 80, 85, whatever you feel comfortable with. So, and also that's another important point is that, like, if you're interviewing for jobs in, let's say, in Montreal or Winnipeg or Halifax, then you probably will be earning a lower salary than people in Vancouver and Toronto. And this is because the cost of living is lower in those cities, and cost of living is higher in other cities. So be cautious of this. So like, I think that like, for example, maybe you can live really well in Winnipeg and for $70,000 or something like that, but in Montreal or Toronto, especially in Vancouver and Toronto, and especially in Toronto, you'll probably want to get a higher salary, maybe $80K or $90K, something like that. But depends on you, and you can have a great life with those salaries, especially if your husband or wife are working. Yeah, $50K in Halifax is definitely okay. Yeah, exactly, Steph. Reginaldo, I think the engineering manager, Jonathan, from Proposify, will be there. So let me see his LinkedIn. It's not coming up. I'm not sure his full name, but anyway, yeah, there's Jonathan from Proposify, who I think is a technical lead. You can check out the search on LinkedIn for someone named Jonathan who works for Proposify, and you'll find it. Okay. $100K in Toronto is how much in Halifax? I really don't know. Yeah, check out Numio. Thanks, Eduardo. IELTS, no, Jesua, you do not need IELTS. So that's the good thing about this visa. You don't need IELTS, you don't need to do college, you don't need to do anything. You just get the job offer. Basically, you're getting paid to move to Canada. That's another thing, relocation packages. So most companies will offer some kind of relocation package, something like, I don't know, between, let's say, $2,000 to $5,000 to help you and your family move. Sometimes they just like pay that as like, they buy your flight for you and they pay for an Airbnb, and or sometimes they give you that money. It all depends on companies, but usually there's a relocation package so that you have some money to spend on, like flights and stuff like that. Yeah, good links, guys, in the chat. All right. Okay, guys. Any other questions? Yes. Hey, Fabiano.
Yeah. My kids, I have a couple of kids, and they're still studying for this whole year. And actually, their school is paid for the rest of the year. It's okay if I move first and take them sometime later, probably by the.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fine.
That's.
Yeah, Fabiano, it kind of cut out a little bit, but it's totally fine. The visas, are valid for 2 years, so your kids can move anytime in those 2 years. So it's fine. Robson, I don't know about Nest Ready if they have a relocation package. I think most companies should have one, but I'm not 100% sure about Nest Ready. I have to check and see. I'm pretty sure though, because we had some hires there, and I think they all got relocation packages. Cool.
Hey, Ilya, Steph here. Regarding the salary ranges, maybe you could tell them about how each province has like a medium salary for engineers, and the company can only offer them that amount or more. So they can also base their salary ranges on that, right? Yeah,
it's a good question, or that's a good point. So yeah, there's there are different so the way the visa works is that you have different cities or different provinces in Canada have different median wages or like average wages, and then companies can't offer you salary that's lower than that. So you can check on this website here. Check here, go to this website, and then put type in the city. Actually, I can just share my screen and show you. So you all see my screen? Yeah, okay. So if you come here and you can type a city, so let's say Toronto. It's a little bit complicated, but hopefully it works. And then you can have to search for something called the NOC code. This is basically how Canada like classifies different labor. So you go 2175, which is usually the lower one. There's two. So 2173 is always higher than 2175. Again, this is the government trying to figure out what a software developer is and what a web developer is. They don't really know, or like this is actually really old, so it's kind of not the perfect system. But it's minimum $26 an hour, so that's around $55,000 in Toronto. Other places probably different, but the point is that they can't like pay you. Sorry, they can't pay you a low salary that you won't have enough money to live. Yeah. Cool. The interview will not be standing; it'll be sitting. Bring your computer to your interview so you can kind of go over any problems. There'll be half-an-hour conversations for most people. So bring your computer. Probably want to see your coding chest. Probably want to see examples of your work. But it'll be sitting. Each company will have their own room. Felipe, I don't know what you mean. People who not join the event. Everyone who's going to be there will be selected. So I think what you heard is that I was saying that people might come that aren't part of the event. We won't let them in, of course. So that's why I'm saying not to share where the event will be, so we don't have some crazy people come that weren't selected. Cool. Any tips for QA engineers? Nothing specific, Aniki. I'm sorry. Find some bugs. Write some good tests. I'm sorry. I can't tell you. There's probably a lot more. There's a lot better like videos on YouTube than I can give about how to do a good QA interview. Sorry about that. Any feedback? So there will be feedback probably the next week. So you won't get feedback on the day. You'll get feedback probably the next week about next steps, whether you were selected or not. But yeah, there won't be any like feedback right away. But and again, like VanHack can't control this. So sometimes companies are a little bit slow and distracted and whatever, and might take some time. Some companies are much better than this than others. Again, people are different. So expect to have feedback, like I would say at latest by the Friday after the event, but probably earlier than that. Again, I can't guarantee, but just my estimate. Probably VanHack will give you the feedback, but again, depends on the company. Yeah, Antonio, good question. Feedback for your interview. Probably. I don't want to guarantee that you'll get feedback from the interview, just because maybe the company won't share it with us. But probably. That's funny, Natasha. Yeah. Want to have a notebook just broke? No problem. Really? Your laptop just broke? Do you have a friend who you can borrow from? Yeah. Don't. If I were you, I wouldn't. No excuses. You know, like find one from a friend, maybe your wife or something, maybe your kid. I don't know. Or I would buy another one, like, because you're gonna need to buy one anyway. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do a hackathon without a laptop. So yeah, maybe there's
just one question about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, Igor.
About what tools do we need to have installed our notebook? I mean, Android
anything
Studio.
you need to code, right? So like, okay, so if you're an Android developer, have all the tools that you need, like whatever you usually use in your day-to-day work. And I don't think you need to have anything specific or special, just whatever tools you feel are best. So like pre-configure that. One thing I think that they're gonna check. I know. Oh, by the way, you should all watch this video by Marcelo from Fair. He has a really good video. So this guy Marcelo, he's like amazing. He used to work at Google and Square. Let's see, where is it? I shared this in Slack, but sorry guys, just one sec. He did a good talk about how to do coding interviews. Huh. Okay. So here it is. So watch this link after this talk, and this should help you. But one of the things that he talks about is if you're like struggling and fighting against the tools, and you don't have like shortcuts, and you don't really know how to use your tools as a developer, that's a bad sign. So like have everything set up, know how to use your tools, like your IDE or whatever program that you use well, and that'll be like an indication that you're a good developer, right? So yeah, good question, Igor. Really good question. Make sure you have all that set up, double check everything, but really good question. There will be power plugs. Priscilla Power, love your name. Priscilla, I've seen your VanHack profile many times, and I always remember that because a good friend of mine used to have the last name Power as well. So yeah, there will be power plugs for you, Mrs. Power. That's cool. I don't know if there's a way, but can you tell me the renting app in Canada? No. So there are no Fiador in Canada. No, this is another benefit of. I couldn't believe this. This is like crazy. When I moved to Brazil, like I tried to rent an apartment. It's like in order to rent an apartment, you need to have some like rich uncle or cousin, or like be able to get an insurance. And as a foreigner, they didn't give insurance. It was crazy. Like I couldn't rent my own apartment. I always have to rent a room from someone else. It was really frustrating. Anyway. Yeah. Yes, but you do need to pay a couple months in advance. This is actually an important thing. You don't need a fiador, but you do need to put a deposit for first and last month rent. So let's say your rent is $2,000 per month. You need to have $4,000 upfront, cash, no parcelados, right away to pay like insurance kind of for the landlord. So Allison, yes, it will be recorded. So make sure you have that savings before you come. If you don't have that savings, then maybe talk about the company. They might be able to like help you with that somehow. But I would suggest save some money up front to be able to deal with this. Cool. Daniel, you bought you have a Mac Mini, then maybe just buy a monitor and bring that with you. That's funny. All right, guys, 10 minutes left. Any last questions? Everyone here who has like a question in mind that they're too shy to ask, now is the time to shine, okay? You waited all the way to the end. Don't be shy. We're here to help you. We have the same goal. Look at that. Jesue is helping Daniel. Awesome. Yeah, maybe you guys can connect on Slack. Exactly, Steph. Cool. You got it, Christian. My pleasure. Another thing I'll say is you guys will be some surprises for you. We have some VanHack gifts for you guys. Hopefully we have enough for everyone. I'm not sure if we'll have enough for everyone, but we'll have some swag, as they say. So the earlier you come in the morning, the higher the chance you get of having a little surprise from our team. Yeah, so stickers is one of them, and then we'll also have some other things. Don't bring this Canadian flu to the event. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick. Yeah, I'm gonna get some rest today. Big weekend, be good. Bring your pets to Canada? No problem. We had one VanHacker who brought like 17 cats, so it should be okay. Yeah, Shara, good question. Just asked how they're doing. Nice to meet you. Yeah, he had a lot of cats. Raphael, good. Yes, we will divide the perks between. Yes, arrive between 8 and 9. Come earlier. Arrive earlier if possible. If you can't make it, if you're late, don't worry. It's not going to be the end of the world. Like for example, if you're coming in on an overnight bus or your flight lands early, but early bird gets the worm. Come early. Yeah, Fernando, is the hackathon obligatory? I mean, I'm not going to force you to do anything. No one can force you to do anything, right? Like, it's not like we're going to say like, hey, if you don't do this hackathon, you're not going to. I mean, probably companies won't look at that in a positive way though. Like, so probably if you decide to like not do the hackathon, they're going to have questions. So I would say like it is obligatory, but it's not like I don't know. It's your life, right? So you decide what you want to do. When we will know about the hackathon? On the day. So we'll share it. Oh, on the VanHack platform. Yeah. So we have on the VanHack platform. We'll send you a link. Everything will be on the VanHack platform, and we'll also have a video for how you can post or share your hackathon challenge. It does start at 9 a.m. Yes. So it's going to be a generic challenge. Won't be related to specific companies. Just like open book challenge. But yeah. For everyone, some companies have their own coding challenges though, like in addition. And Fair, I know, is one of those companies that is like a very intense and very like high performing, very strong company. So they shared a hackathon challenge, and they basically, the idea is to test how you perform under pressure. So startup life, they're a very fast moving company, and yeah, they for everyone who's doing the hackathon challenge, do it for Fair soon, like today or tomorrow. No, same challenge for both days. We will not share the challenge. We will only share the challenge for people on Saturday. Like, yeah, so people on Saturday, don't tell people on Sunday. This is actually another thing. Like, we had some people cheat in the last ones. We can't really control this, but and it's not really something you can really cheat on, because there's not like a like a wrong or right answer, as I mentioned in the beginning. But it's, you know, if you're coming on Sunday, like, just be honest with others. Like, don't need to know what the Hackathon challenge is. It won't like, let me just put it this way. It won't like prepare you. It won't give you much of an advantage, and it'll just look bad if they find out. So yeah, we had a couple of VanHackers who, like, we found out later that they weren't honest. And, you know, once you see that, then it's just like, there's no reason why we can't, like, to send you to companies anymore, because we see that you don't have the ethical person. So it'll make us look bad if we send you to companies. So yeah. Sao Paulo voucher. I didn't think about that for premium. Yeah, I would say, like, probably until the end of March, but I don't know, we'll decide. You know, what are you waiting for? Just join. You can always stop anytime. Cool. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm starting to really get a little bit sick here, so I'm gonna cut it off. But yeah, great talking to you. Thanks, Marcus. I appreciate that. I wish you all the best of luck this weekend. You know, just one step on the journey, but very important step. Be proud of yourselves that you got it here. I look forward to meeting all of you and hanging out with all you guys and gals. If you have any other questions, ask us on Slack. Our team and I myself will be there, ready to help you. Yeah, thumbs up. We hack together. Let's rock. All those things. Have a good night, guys. See you all very soon. Ciao.